West Coast cities like Seattle, Portland, and LA are now seeing the drug known as Tranq involved with overdoses and zombie-like skin-eating conditions. What is it? Why are people using it? Why won't Narcan help? And why in mostly major coastal cities? As fentanyl has saturated the drug market, traps are always looking for a new cut for drugs like heroin. Testing now shows that a mix of not only fentanyl, but also a drug called Xylazine is showing up in overdose patients, mostly living on the street. However, you can expect this to start entering other types of communities very soon. The FDA approved Xylazine in 1972 as a veterinary sedative for animals. It sedates for things like surgery and is also a vasoconstrictor, meaning it constricts the blood vessels. This is effective in animals when used correctly, but when used repeatedly and in humans, the area users shoot up is starved for oxygen and blood flow due to the vasoconstriction. This creates ulcers, even creating large holes in the skin and appearing like a flesh-eating disease in users who walk around in a trance-like zombie state. Worse yet, as the respiratory system begins to slow, presenting like a fentanyl overdose, first responders are administering Narcan to reverse the effects. Philadelphia was ground zero for Tranq, also called slump and many other names, but it has quickly spread across the country, especially in cities that have continued to not effectively address the homeless epidemic with practical options, such as more managed tiny home-style communities, along with enforcement. Instead, choosing to let tent and RV cities spread across the streets without proper services and the infrastructure needed to handle challenges like waste, mental, and physical health. Choosing instead to allow deplorable conditions in plain sight. Cities like Seattle have data showing that 6 out of 10 people experiencing homelessness did not enter it in the area, but moved there for the high tolerance, mild coastal city climate and the availability of shelter in extreme weather conditions. While the current services come out of true compassion, they do very little to solve the other problems that lead to and continue the problem, and the majority of people refuse the services offered, preferring to stay on the street. And when on the street, it's easier to cope and in a trance-like state that Tranq provides.